Everybody wants greatness, but they don't know what it takes to get there. Are you willing to drive to work at 5 something in the morning in the snow on a Saturday while everybody else is nice and warm and toasty in their footy pajamas? Are you willing to do this? Everybody's going to be going Christmas shopping on a Saturday, and I'm on my way to work as a longshoreman to bring those containers off those ships so people have their goods and the stuff that they need. I'm Larry of the No Regret Show. You see, I did this, this is a normal for me. I've done this for over 20 years. What I do is I grind when the weather is horrible. Then usually after the holidays, we dip off to the islands in Aruba, somewhere warm as like a, as like a nice reset. And then in the summertime, I take off because I grind during these months. I put that work in when nobody wants to do it. And then when people are stuck at work over the summer, I'm not there. And while I'm showing you this drive, I got an hour drive to work every day. I leave early, drink my coffee, and what I did for 6-7 years, listen to audiobooks. Those audiobooks I tell you guys about, like those finance books, Intelligent Investor, A Random Walk Down Wall Street, The Millionaire Mindset, Investing versus Speculation. After I get done with this video, I'm going to turn on Irrational Exuberance by Robert Schiller. And they single-handedly warn you about these scammy companies that once were beverage companies and then became quantum computing in 2018. They transitioned over. You see, that's perfectly legal, ladies and gentlemen. What happens is, let me break down what happens, right? Some of these companies, they like to follow trends in the times, okay? Now, what they'll do is they'll cancel out all their shares and they'll issue new shares. And what happens is a lot of these scammy CEOs, they have a lockup period, meaning they can't sell them for 3 to 6 months, like insiders, like the workers and stuff. And their publicists and their job is to get it out to you, to the public. They got to get popular. So they'll have a publicist, like a hype man. They'll be contacting YouTube Finance and MSNBC because just because people are on MSNBC, you can pay for a spot on MSNBC. If I contacted NBC or MSNBC, you can pay them and they'll have me on as a guest. Now, they'll tout these companies. And then once the influencer gets a hold of it, like Larry Jones, when he got a hold and everyone's talking about quantum computing, they're rubbing their hands together like Birdman.
Yeah, boy.
Because they know they're going to be able to unload it on you. Now, these stocks may be at these prices for a little while, but eventually they always come crashing back down because the insiders and the shareholders and the people on the board, they own the majority of the shares and they unload them or they'll issue more shares to dilute you. It happened with AMC and stuff like that. So what happens is they'll unload these companies and they'll get the influencers to talk about it and then they're out. You see, in my opinion, I can guarantee this company probably doesn't even have a storefront, meaning they might not even have a business, because you can have a P.O. box and just use an address and have a phone number and say you have operations and you really don't. Remember, as long as they issue a prospectus, and this is an over-the-counter stock ticker, this is an OTC. I believe this is an OTC, like a pink sheet, meaning they can operate. Who remembers? I'm gonna see if I can edit it in right now. If I can't, I'm sorry.
Helping them finance houses. We're helping them buy their wife a diamond ring, a boat, maybe.
Okay, I'll explain it. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Who remembers the Wolf of Wall Street, where he went to go get a job and the guy was like, "Oh, we sell these companies to plumbers and schmucks and stuff like that, where we promise riches." They usually operate out their parents' backyard or their family members' backyard and they need funding, meaning they're gonna do a pump and dump. A lot of times that's what these companies are, pump and dumps. Now, I would never introduce this to people because When people tell me they made money, okay, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But will you have money at the age of 60? Will you have money at the age of 62, 65? Because what you're doing now and what you tell me when you say you made 4,000 or you made 5,000, you didn't invest. How many times I got to say this? Maybe people just don't get it. When you invest, you're putting your money there and you're leaving it there in a great company, hoping, and you are speculating, but you're doing your due diligence to make sure they're profitable. You're more likely to get a better return in the long run from a profitable dividend paying company. Chapter 19 commentary in The Intelligent Investor. Why would you buy a company that does not pay you a dividend when they could do financial fraud? When a company that pays a dividend, they got to keep their books and auditing correct because they got to pay the shareholders every quarter or every month or every year. So why would you invest in these fly-by-night companies for quick money when it keeps happening? Wall Street knows that. Wall Street, Reddit Wall Street bets, I'm telling you, you got people from Wall Street and people up there monitoring that, and they know what people are hyping up. They're buying huge blocks and they're letting it run up for like a day or two. They don't care if they make a quick percentage. They're all about showing the gains to their shareholders and their hedge funds. Now, people don't have to believe me. You really don't. But when you see me in Aruba and you see me traveling and you see the waterfront real estate and you eventually see that car in Aruba, I'm driving to work in crappy weather. Look, hold up. Look, take a look at these roads, man. Look. People ask me, yo, why do you drive that crappy pickup truck? Because this crappy pickup truck got four-wheel drive. What am I supposed to do, drive a Maserati? When these plows are on the roads and they tear up the street and you get a piece of metal in your tire in your Maserati, you know how hard it is to get a tire for that? I can possibly, more likely, easier get a tire for my Ram that's mass produced. You got to think differently. Like, you got to see and you got to say to yourself, why would I bring these trashy companies to the family? Why will I introduce it to you if I know it's a piece of shit? Did Larry Jones even know it was a beverage company? Chances are he didn't. He just followed the trend, followed the crowd, searched what was popular on Google Finance. Let's be honest. They show everything on Google Finance. Did he show you the stock in his portfolio? Did he show you a buying entry level? Did he show you a cost basis, meaning he got it for 90 cents? Did he show you a sell order for what he says he sold it at? No, he showed you everything on Google Finance, which is free. Okay, which is free. So the next time people tell me you're making money, good for you. But will you have it? When you call me a slave on the plantation, I'm building my Social Security. I'm building my pension. I'm building my 401k. I'm getting paid. I got medical. I got full medical. I don't pay anything. I got $5 copays. You slip and fall on the ice and break your leg outside. You don't have a career. Who pays for that? Do you know how much Cobra is? Do you know how expensive Cobra insurance is? Who pays for that? What, the government? What, your state-run benefits? Oh, you mean your taxpayers pay for that? So you can call me a slave on a plantation. You know, when I was younger, I used to get upset. When I was in my 20s, oh, yeah, you going to work, you a slave for the white man. Oh, am I? Now I smile. Okay, yeah, you're right. And I got a pocket full of money. I got real estate. I got index funds that are chunky as hell. I got dividend portfolios. My cars are paid off. I got a pocket full of money. You can call me whatever you want. But, you know, what do you have? When people say they make $4,000, they made $4,000. That's it? That's all you got, $4,000 off the play? When did we get away from investing? Whenever you told me you bought it and you sold it at this, you're not a long-term investor. You're a day trader. That's what you're trying to be. And in the long run, you will eventually get crushed. And just like I hear so many comments, or excuse me, I read so many comments. And then a year later, 2 years later, oh yeah, I'll troll the shit out of you. I'm like, hey, how's your portfolio doing? You'll respond every comment right now, but then I'll hit you up like 2 years from now or a year from now, and you guys are quiet as church mouses. You can't get a response because I know what happened to you. You blew up your account and you're done. You deleted the app. You don't watch YouTube. So hope you made it this far. Think about subscribing, but everybody wants success, but they don't know what it takes to get there. I'm going to finish my coffee, stop, get some gas, and listen to this audiobook. You got to be the 1%. 1% of thinkers. No regrets. Get it.